is What If Orochimaru Took Naruto Part 1. And this is gonna be the one that's replacing What If Naruto's a Prodigy. And yeah, instead of What If Naruto was betrayed. Because I tried it, it just didn't work out. So we're gonna do this. And um, we start off with Naruto. He's like 6 basically. And he oh he sorry for the wait, hold on. He's basically resented by the village more because his hairs are red. No, not red. He's exactly in the same, but he's depressed basically. He's in this depressed state, like basically like he was with Jiraiya, but less. And he runs past Orochimaru. He bumps into Orochimaru. He thinks Orochimaru's gonna hit him, so he gets prepared. And Orochimaru just looks at the kid like he's weird because he doesn't know anything about this village. Then him and Orochimaru start talking, and Naruto asks Orochimaru what's the meaning of life, and Orochimaru's on his bull talking about how there is no meaning of life unless you're immortal. Even though I don't know if Orochimaru actually achieved his goal of being immortal, because Orochimaru, he was pretty old, but he's still alive in Boruto. So hey, and he was still, but then he became one of the most strongest Sani, well, the strongest Sani in Boruto. So unless you count Naruto, Sasuke, and um Sakura, Sani, then one of the weakest Sani. Except for Sakura, I still think Sakura's useless. Well, not useless, just not as strong as Orochimaru and Boruto. If you're a Sakura fan, just know I don't like Sakura. I honestly hate the girl. So don't be mad at me when I start hating on Sakura. Be mad at Sakura when she start hating on Naruto. So Naruto, he goes with Orochimaru because Orochimaru tells him that he can make him immortal. And we're gonna pass a couple years. Naruto, he basically 10 years old, and he has. I'm gonna tell you what Orochimaru basically did to him these past months, well, years, and he basically put Hyuga DNA into Naruto, Hatsuki DNA into Naruto. So he has white hair with black tips. So, and he has the Byakugan, and he's learned the Hyuga style Gentle Fist, and he can do up to 48 palms now. And he knows wind style, fire style, and um, water style, Jitsu. And he's a Kenjutsu user. He's really good in it. But he doesn't use like swords. I wanna say he like uses a dagger, and it's basically like he holds it like the handle's up top and the like blade part is at bottom, and he uses Simbon. He basically like assassin type. So this dagger is basically the handle is red, and the blade is like a really dark gray color, and it has a writing on it called immortality. It's not what it's called. The writing on it says immortality. And Naruto, he basically learned the body Jutsu, the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the he basically learned Fire Style Fire Dragon, Fire Style Fireball Jutsu, Fire Style Fire Style Fireball Jutsu, Fire Style Fire Dragon Jutsu, Fire Style Great Fireball Jutsu, and Fire Style Phoenix Flower Jutsu, and Fire Style Majestic Flame. And he learned Water Style Water Dragon Jutsu, Water Style Water Bullet, Water Style Raging Waves, and he learned Wind Style one bullet jutsu, one style, great breakthrough. So Naruto, he learned that, and he realizes that Orochimaru basically isn't using him to make him immortal. He's using him as a test dummy for all his experiments. So Naruto, he basically runs away back to the leaf, and the Sarutobi, he gets word of this, and he basically gives Naruto his apartment back and everything he had back. And Naruto, his fit changed. He basically has a um all black pants, all black shinobi shoes, and then he has a hoodie with the like is all black. And then at the top it has the red drip, like you know how it drips. Some like I don't know how to explain it. It's like the drip, it's like slime drip, basically like dripping from the top of his hoodie, and then like ends like right in the middle. And he has a fishnet undershirt, and the drip is red. So Naruto, he has bandages on his right arm and left leg. So Naruto, he's basically joining the academy, and Naruto realizes that this kid is already at least high Chunin and at most mid Jonin. So he tells the kid that he shouldn't be here, it's too high of a skill level. And then Naruto refuses to leave because the Hokage told him this is where he was supposed to go. So he's basically there for like 2 years until he turns 12. And he's the top student, Sasuke's second. So, and him and Hinata are really close friends since Naruto's a Hyuga too, technically, but he doesn't tell anybody. Except for the Hokage. The Hokage is the only person in the village who knows what happened to Naruto and knows about all the things that he has now. And Naruto, he basically is one of the strongest shinobi at this point. He basically has 8 trigrams, 125 pounds, and he learned how to do 8 trigram kill palm jutsu. And he's learned, I don't know if I said this before, but he learned Fire Style Majestic Destroyer Flame and how to run chakra through his dagger. Like, he usually does Fire Chakra or Wind Style. In his Senbon, he always does Wind Style and sometimes Fire Style at the tip to make it explode once it hits the body. He learned this new jutsu that he made up, combining Wind Style and Fire Style, and it basically condenses the fire up until it hits something and it explodes. It's basically his new style that he basically created, explosion style, but it's not like dangerous explosions. It's like, yeah, like how I just explained. So he's learned mini explosion ball jutsu and explosion phoenix exploding flower jutsu. So Naruto, he's learned that since those 2 years, and they're gonna announce the teams now. Team 7, Sasuke, Sakura, Hanu, Sasuke, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, Rock Lee. Teams 8, Inuzuka, Kiwa, Hyuga, Hinata, and Aburame Shino. Team 10, Nara, Shikamaru, Yamanaka, Ino, and forget this man's name? Choji? I don't even remember his first name. I think his last name is Armagichi or something. Comment his last name down below for me. And Team 13. That's right. Team 13. Naruto. Well, not Naruto. Hyuga, Neji, Tenten, and Uzumaki Naruto. That's how they announced it. And they go all off to their teams. And they go to the roof. They announce their goals. Naruto's goal, well, likes is training. Dislikes almost everything. And no, he didn't say almost everything. Says he dislikes people who disrespect him, and he dislikes and he hates. He doesn't dislike. He hates orochimaru. And Guy is surprised that he knows who orochimaru is, and Guy's impressed, like to see a kid like Naruto hating Orochimaru because he doesn't really expect Naruto to know who he is. So he says his goal is immortality, and Guy looks at him strangely because Guy knows that Guy thinks that nothing can be immortal, and he was gonna ask about it, but then he thought that it must be something personal, so he doesn't. Neji's goal is to change the Hyuga's likes nothing. I swear that man doesn't like anything in regular Naruto until Naruto changes the man. It's like, bro, come on. His dislikes are the Hyuga clan, basically, well, the main branch of the Hyuga clan, and the Tenten's goal is to be a strong Kunichi. Konoichi? I don't remember. Her likes, training, her other likes is basically hanging out with friends. Basically, her friends are Hinata, Broccoli, and and Sakura. So her dislikes are, I don't really think she dislikes anything in particular. Tenzin has always been the person who always never disliked anything, honestly. Nothing to my memory anyway. And they get told that that was so loud. They get told that they have a test tomorrow to see if they are actually worthy of being like Guinea, and if they don't pass it, they will have to go back to where they came from. And Naruto, he's ready. And the next day, Naruto, he eats a bowl of ramen. And Naruto, he's still a bowl of ramen, but not as much. So Naruto, he goes and he's there, and sorry for the dogs barking if you can hear that in the background. That's my next door neighbor's dog. I remember when I used to go outside, that dog used to bark at me all the time. So they get started on the test, and they all go, and Naruto and Neji activate their Byakugan. Naruto, he goes to Neji and Tenten and tells them about what the test is about, and they believe him for this now because all the facts that he was pointing out, like how they never heard of a 2-man or a 3-man team, 1 Jonin and 2 Guinea. So they actually do that, and Naruto, he comes out with his Byakugan. This surprises Neji because Neji's never heard of Uzumaki Hyuga, whose last name was Uzumaki. So Naruto, he goes out with the Byakugan, and he hits Guy's pressure point. He was gonna say Naruto he can see pressure points and chakra points, but he knows Guy doesn't really use chakra, so he hits pressure points, and Neji is hitting pressure points too. They eventually hit 15 together, and then Tenten, well, Naruto's clone transfer, well, turned into Tenten, goes in and kicks Guy and throws a shuriken at him. And then Guy, he dodges the shuriken and punches Tenten, and he sees it turn into Naruto and then into smoke. Then Naruto, he destroys all the, well, not destroys, closes all the pressure points in Guy's leg and arms, so he can't move really. And then Tenten, she cuts, well, she throws a shuriken at Guy's bells, and Neji, well, Naruto, he catches the bells and passes them to Neji and Tamari, and Guy tells them how they passed and how the thing was all about teamwork the whole time. And so they do that and they pass, so they cooling. So Guy, he asks to train Naruto and train him how he was trained. And so basically this leads to Naruto learning about the 8 gates and getting weights to prepare his body and basically go faster and stronger. And he's been training way more in Taijutsu, seeing how good his teacher is in it. So Naruto, he's basically getting better in Kenjutsu, Taijutsu, and he's faster. And he's not really focusing on Jutsu, on the Hyuga style right now. And Naruto, he's basically doing that until Neji pulls up to his house and talking about how he gonna kill Naruto for taking his clan's eyes. And Naruto, he's confused and asks Neji what's going on, and this isn't a fudging prank. And Neji talks about how no, he's not a Hyuga and how could he have those eyes. And Naruto, he tells him about his backstory, and Neji, he feels bad for Naruto, but doesn't show it. And he tells Naruto sorry, he'll be on his way. And they going, and basically Naruto, he still practice on his taijutsu and kenjutsu while they're not doing their D ranks. Yep, finally found out the mission ranking. I'm pretty sure it's D rank, C rank, A rank, S rank. I don't remember if there's B rank somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's B rank between A rank and C rank, but if it's not, comment that down below too. So Naruto, he and his team get called to the Kage's office about a mission to go take down some nin. So they go get ready for that. Naruto, he packing everything. He got his dagger on his side, and his bag basically full of ramen, and Simbon in his back of that pocket that he got in his back on his basically his butt. I ain't even gonna cap that like back that thing that they be keeping on their side. In Naruto, that be having their kunai and shuriken. He basically got his Simbon in there, and he basically that's really all he packed. So Naruto, he got that, and he basically brought a change of clothes. And Naruto, he been cooling, chilling, and he gets there to the village gate, and they leave. Ooh, I think I'll just change the ship. Yep, I think I know the ship now, but I ain't gonna tell y'all until y'all comment or give me to 10 likes on this video. So Naruto, he and his team leave, and they like stop at this little place in the forest, like almost a quarter of the way there. They rest in there, and Naruto, he starts training, and we're gonna say he stops training for now, but he's gonna keep going tomorrow once they stop again. And it's still the taijutsu and kenjutsu training until he decides that he should start training back on the Hyuga style. And we're gonna say he does breaking down a couple of trees, but Guy and Neji are heavy sleepers, and he destroys like 3 trees. And he decides he's being too loud, and Tintin, she's up. This week's her up. And Naruto, he decides to take a bath in a little pond that he's by, and he gets out, puts a towel on, and he walks back to where they're at, and he sees Tintin's up, and Tintin, she starts blushing, and Naruto, he took her to go back to sleep. He's trying to change his clothes, and she just lays back down, but she doesn't go to sleep. And Naruto, he changed his clothes. He basically got his fishnet shirt on and black pants. And Naruto and Tintin, they start talking on this like rock. They just sitting on it, and he talks about how it's cool how he has the Hyuga style and the Byakugan, even though he's not Hyuga. And he tells her his backstory, how it wasn't really that cool. It was pretty sad. Well, not pretty sad, pretty painful experience. And she starts feeling bad for Naruto, and she gives him a hug. Naruto, he blushes but hugs her back because he doesn't want to be rude. So Naruto, he cooling down. They basically go to sleep and wake up the next morning. But that's where I'm going to leave it off. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another video. Peace.